Hey, what's up, guys? This is Ben to Markham here with Level Design Game 424.5. Working on a project for a knight's journey as we wrap up this milestone project. As you guys know, I've been working on being able to improve my skills for environmental design. Loading up right here the project for you. So essentially, this week I've been working more with whiteboxing the castle itself, as well as wrapping up the landscape of what that looks like, and just getting some, player testing feedback from some colleagues and from my family. Pull this guy. So part of the other part that I was just showing is this was a general milestone that I had set up right here. There are some things that I've had to swap around here and there based on time, constraints, or just in general the vision of the project changing, like the assets that I would be using or that I wouldn't be using for that. So one of those being namely the gate. The gate I'm changing to look more just like a crypt, a hill. Instead that you come into, it's going to be like you go through a crack in the wall. A little bit different there, rather than bam, just like this huge looking thing. So something more you stumble on upon and discover. And then additionally, I'm going to be able to create a lot more rooms within these different sections over here, like in the back corner and over here. It'll break off into other rooms, and I'll give you a high glance of what this looks like. Go here, hide these guys. So this is what this part looks like here. And these are all, individualized assets. The pack is called Kobo Dungeon. So if you're interested, check that out. Pretty cool tile setup that they have to be able to do that. I'll give you kind of a frontwards glance. So you come through the door. And lighting is obviously something I'm going to be working on in this area. Add a few things here and there, some broken pillars, a little bit of some set design around the areas, candles, things moving, some chest, gold coins in different areas. And then, changes so that the lighting isn't coming from the top part, which is why I had those guys earlier. So we'll have a little bit of modeling for that as well. And then we'll be covering the gaps in some other areas, making sure the scaling of these parts, there's not some awkward spaces. Ultimately, I'm going to be changing some of the walls here to branch off a little bit more. So I want to get like the general box for this part at least, and stop myself from stressing out too much on these smaller details when they're most likely just going to get deleted. So that's what this project looks like on this part, and honestly surprised the amount of time that it took to work on this part, but it's been really enjoyable being able to work on that. And then just kind of recapping what I have over here. I've been learning a lot more about the foliage, how to integrate that, be able to get to be less stuttery. So this week I'll be also focusing on baking. A few hours this week was focused on packaging Unreal Engine, being able to export that as a product. On it, I had quite a few issues that I was running into with Visual Studio. I had to re-upload something called a DSK, I think it was. So if you guys have any questions, had difficulties with that as well for your projects, feel free to message me, see what's going on, what kind of error it's giving you. I ended up able to get it fixed. I didn't have enough storage on my device, which is horrible because after 3 hours of it compressing and everything getting ready, it failed because it didn't have enough storage to be able to put it onto my flash, not flash drive, but my SSD drive. But eventually I got it figured out. I had to re-download a lot of things, and then one thing I did do that seems to have helped a lot of people is you go here and you click verify after you've done that. So just make sure if it gives you like that C++ error, you download specifically the extension for C++ of the Visual Code Editor for Microsoft, and then you download the DSK, I believe it's called. You have that as well, so that you have the proper extension. And I would say, just to be safe, I would exit out of it, of Unreal Engine, and then re-upload it once those things have been properly installed. And it should go through. If you keep having errors, keep clicking on the output log when it says package failed, and it generally has a pretty detailed message of what's causing the issue for the package to fail. And you can just copy paste that into engine. At least a few posts, forums, and other related sites will have people having similar issue. But the concurring thing that seems to fix it is making sure you have the right components of Visual Code downloaded. You also verify that file, and you just restart Unreal Engine, and that fixes like 80% of people's issues, and ended up eventually was able to get mine fixed too. So best of luck in that venture here. But yeah, this is really the main startup here. Recapping, the other thing that we're working on is getting the enemy aggro. So if we go to like this section right here, this is where the Holy Relic will be, where they pick it up. I'll be integrating the blueprints into these sections, kind of widening the error a bit. Getting rid of these pillars. Was kind of just getting the stationary part built in, and then I'll make it a little bit more of my own space, so to speak. And then when these branch off into different areas, this side being the monster side, this side being